This is the difference between healthy hearing and tinnitus. The auditory nerve runs from your inner ear all the way to your brain and decodes sounds. With tinnitus, this nerve looks like a frayed wire, sending chaotic signals to your brain and causing ringing, buzzing, roaring, or high-pitched whistling. And just like with a faulty electrical circuit, one bad wire can mess up the whole system and fry even healthy brain cells. That's why tinnitus often comes with a bunch of nasty symptoms like brain fog, headaches, fatigue, insomnia. If left untreated, it leads to memory loss, dementia, or even Parkinson's. Major universities around the world, like Harvard, the University of Iowa, or the University of Auckland, are sounding the alarm. Fixing your brain's audio input jack, known in medical terms as the neural junction, is absolutely critical once the ringing starts. Because once you repair this vital circuit, the noise fades, your thoughts sharpen, and your brain begins to heal. It's like flipping the power switch back on, restoring your clarity, memory, and peace of mind. And the best part, fixing this overlooked nerve protects your hearing, preserves your brain, and restores your peace of mind for decades to come.
I've worked around really loud equipment for years. I've also played loud music for decades. I had tinnitus for over 10 years. I tried everything: supplements, sound machines, even therapy. Nothing worked. I was starting to think I'd have to live with it forever. But after I managed to fix my audio input jack, everything changed. For the first time in decades, complete silence. I almost cried, and I finally feel free.
Tinnitus was the hardest battle I ever fought. I mean, it drained me mentally, emotionally, physically. There were days I thought I'd never know peace again. But I didn't give up. And now it's gone. I never thought I'd win this fight, but I did. Thanks, Andrew.
So I used to wake up every night because of this ringing, but now I sleep straight through. Learning about this neuronal junctions has changed absolutely everything.
Hi, I'm Dr. Andrew Ross, tinnitus expert, and right now I want to finally set the record straight. What tinnitus really is, where it comes from, and what we can actually do about it. If you're like most people suffering from tinnitus, you've probably tried just about everything. Ginkgo biloba teas, ringing relief drops, hearing aids, you name it. But when it comes to tinnitus, I have to be brutally honest with you. 99% of treatments fail in clinical trials. That means those so-called solutions were never going to work. And Big Pharma knows it long before they ever hit the shelves, but they'd rather keep you sick and keep cashing in. Your doctor may have already told you there's nothing that really works for tinnitus, and in a moment, you'll see exactly why. But now, let me be crystal clear. What I'm about to share is nothing like anything you've ever tried, seen, or heard before. It's rooted in solid science. It's a solution that repairs the neural junction until it's back to looking like this: strong, clean, and fully connected. And it doesn't just stop tinnitus. It helps you restore your hearing, memory, and bring back your sharp, clear thinking. It's been proven in dozens of studies from institutions like University of California, San Francisco, University of Iowa, University of Auckland, New Zealand. That's why it's absolutely critical you pay close attention to what I'm about to share. As someone who's spent over 20 years in the health field, and as a dedicated tinnitus researcher, I've seen firsthand how devastating tinnitus can be, how it drives people to the edge of madness, despair, and mental exhaustion, how it cuts you off from the people you love the most. That's why I'm truly glad you're watching this right now, because what I'm about to reveal can finally silence the unbearable sound that had haunted you every day. And it doesn't matter how long you've had tinnitus, what medications you're on, or how old you are. Thousands of people have already silenced the noise inside their heads, and they're living proof that there is a simple solution to tinnitus. And it's so powerful, it will change your life forever, just like it has for so many other Americans. Now, just imagine what your life would be like without that constant, annoying sound. No more headaches, dizziness, or nausea, just crystal clear sound. No more feeling irritated, angry, or depressed. Just calm, mental peace. No more endless nights begging for even 1 second of silence. Just deep, restful, healing sleep. And that's not all, because by strengthening your neural junction, you won't just stop the noise. You'll also protect your hearing, your memory, and keep your brain sharp and fully functional for years to come. You'll be securing your independence for the rest of your life. The kind of independence that lets you enjoy music again, or pure silence, play memory games with your grandkids, and leave everyone amazed at how sharp your mind still is. And it all becomes possible once you understand the science behind restoring the neural junction. That's exactly what I'm going to reveal in this video. I'll also share why elderly people in Japan have such extraordinary memories. even winning 80% of memory-based competitions around the world. Plus, I'll walk you through a shocking 5-question quiz developed by neuroscientists from the European Commission for Health that shows the current wear and tear level of your neural junction, and I'll give you the exact method that stops that damage before it's too late. It's the same method my own mother used after her tinnitus got so severe she nearly got arrested. I'll also explain why popular treatments, like eardrops or generic pills, simply don't work, and why so many costly therapies keep failing again and again. Now, before I go any further, I need to give you a warning. This hearing breakthrough is already being used by a small group of elite doctors here in the US, but Big Pharma is scrambling to shut it down because it's not a chemical-loaded, lab-made drug. They can't patent it, they can't profit from it. And now that this video is gaining attention, it's threatening to cost them billions in lost revenue. Meanwhile, this could save you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars every month in medical expenses. That's why Big Pharma would love nothing more than to see this video wiped off the internet. So if you want to silence the non-stop ringing, protect your independence, and finally hear life's most precious sounds again, make sure you watch this video all the way to the end. My name is Andrew Ross. Before I became a tinnitus expert, I was a professor of gerontology at a leading medical university in San Francisco for over 20 years. And I can confidently say I've dedicated my entire career to studying natural solutions for serious conditions. But my greatest passion has always been the brain. I've published hundreds of scientific papers, written 3 books that have reached more than 68,000 people around the world. And over the last few years, I've focused entirely on hearing loss and tinnitus, especially the kind that can flip your life upside down. But for me, this work isn't just professional, it's deeply personal. Because 5 years ago, I watched my own mother live through a waking nightmare. She struggled with severe tinnitus and worsening hearing loss during what should have been the most peaceful years of her life. To help you truly understand what she went through and how she turned it all around, I've invited my mom here today to share her story.
Hi, Mom.
Hey, good to see you, son. Thanks for doing this.
Of course, thank you. I'm glad you said yes. So let's get right to it. Tell us how it all started.
Well, at first, I noticed a soft ringing in my ears, and I tried not to think too much of it. But then I realized it just wouldn't go away, and I started getting more and more irritable. Then the buzzing got louder, so loud I couldn't even sleep some nights. And son, I don't know if you remember, but I used to catch the tiniest sounds around the house.
Oh, I surely remember. In fact, you always knew when the kettle was getting ready to boil, because even if we were in the other room next door, you could still hear it.
Exactly. But I lost that. My hearing just wasn't the same anymore. What frustrated me the most, it made me feel disconnected. Sometimes I'd wake up in a store and I had no idea what I came to get. Why did I even go in? I was scared I was losing my memory.
Is that why you canceled the cruise with that?
Yes, I didn't even want to travel anymore. Every day I felt drained and confused, like the days were blending into each other. Lonely days where I honestly started thinking, this must be the beginning of the end. That's when I started making those little jokes. Old age is finally catching up with me.
Yeah, Mom. A lot of people think those little annoyances like ringing in the ears or struggling to hear are just a normal part of getting older, or genetics, or exposure to loud noises. But that's a huge misconception, and I need to pause here because I have to speak directly to you watching this. This next part is just, it's too painful for my mom to tell. One night, it was a Wednesday, I'll never forget. She was driving home when a police officer pulled her over for a broken taillight. But because of the sounds pulsing in her head and the confusion, she couldn't understand half of what he was saying. She thought he yelled, "Get out of the car," when all he asked for was her license and registration. Panicked, she opened the door, stepped onto the curb with her hands raised, and the officer, caught off guard, reacted defensively. He nearly arrested her, all because she couldn't understand him. When I got the call, I felt this mix of fear, anger, and helplessness. My mom, she never got a parking ticket before, and now here she was, shaken, humiliated, sitting in the back of a police car, not because she did anything wrong, but because of the tinnitus. I rushed to the station to get her, and when I saw her, she looked like a different person. She was quiet, pale, and holding back tears. That strong, lively woman I'd always looked up to. She just wasn't there in that moment. And the worst part, she barely remembered what had happened. She kept saying, "I thought he was yelling. I didn't know what to do. I just wanted to show him I wasn't a threat. My mom was always sharp, confident, full of life, but that night, she looked lost, like the world had gotten too loud and too confusing to keep up with. That's when I called the best ear specialist I knew and begged for an emergency appointment the very next day. After running several hearing tests, the doctor confirmed what I had already suspected. It's tinnitus and moderate hearing loss. We can try some pills and teas, but that's pretty much all we can do. Now, my mom's going to share what those treatments actually did for her. Mom, can you tell us a bit, about what you tried to fix your tinnitus and hearing problems?
Well, I tried everything, teas, acupuncture, shakes, but nothing worked. Even some random lipoflavonoid pills I picked up at Walmart. But in the end, nothing.
You see, it actually makes sense that none of that worked, because now we know that all these treatments and supplements you tried, they didn't actually target the real cause of tinnitus and hearing loss. And that's probably why they ended up making things worse, not better.
Don't remind me. That was the worst phase of my life. I could feel people treating me differently, like I wasn't even me anymore, like I wasn't the person they'd known for so many years. It was the darkest chapter of my life.
She had always been a sweet, vibrant person, but tinnitus would cause her just snap out of nowhere, anger, frustration. She wasn't herself. I didn't know how to help her, or if there was any way to help her, but I knew one thing for sure. I was going to do everything I possibly could. So I grabbed my laptop and started digging into the latest treatments, hearing aids, surgeries, experimental solutions. What I found left me in complete shock. A study published by the European Commission of Health revealed that 99.9% of hearing-related drugs fail in clinical trials run by big pharmaceutical companies. Let that sink in. 99.9% of those drugs don't prevent, don't slow down, and don't reverse tinnitus or hearing loss. At best, they temporarily ease a few symptoms. And yet, Big Pharma keeps launching new drugs year after year, all with one goal in mind: to keep draining money out of our pockets. That's how they make $3.57 billion every single year. And with that kind of money and influence, they'll do anything to ignore or even suppress natural solutions that could actually help us get our lives back. When I uncovered this, I felt stuck, like I was hitting a wall. But I didn't stop. As I mentioned earlier, I worked at a prestigious university where I had access to rare medical research and some of the brightest minds in the field. There had to be an answer. The research was long and exhausting. There were nights when I wanted to give up, but then, after 3 brutal weeks, I stumbled onto something extraordinary. A discovery that would later go on to transform the lives of 59,875 tinnitus sufferers, just like my mom. I came across a disturbing experiment that finally answered the question that had been haunting me for weeks. Why do completely deaf people still suffer from tinnitus? The experiment, done in 2015, was ethically questionable, to say the least, and the premise was chilling. The idea was, for patients with severe tinnitus, we'll sever the auditory nerve. You'll lose all hearing. But theoretically, the tinnitus should stop. The auditory nerve, a critical bundle of fibers that carries sound to the brain, would be completely cut. And believe it or not, several desperate patients agreed. They sacrificed their hearing forever, just for the chance to live in silence. But the shocking result? Their tinnitus actually got worse. That one outcome flipped everything we thought we knew about tinnitus on its head. The cause wasn't in the ears, not even in the auditory nerve. And then came something even more shocking. Deafness Research United Kingdom had already confirmed that people who are born deaf are actually more likely to develop tinnitus. And that's when I found something that sent chills down my spine. The root cause of tinnitus might be the exact same mechanism that causes deafness. And that would explain why my mother's hearing got worse right in the middle of her most intense tinnitus episodes. Buried in a mountain of research papers, one title stopped me in my tracks. Tinnitus, a signal problem between ear and brain. That single thread unraveled everything I thought I knew, and it led me to a breakthrough that changed the way I saw tinnitus forever. The evidence was undeniable. A groundbreaking 2019 study from the Lauer Tinnitus Research Center finally uncovered the missing piece that had baffled scientists for decades. Ear ringing starts with a faulty wire connected to your brain. According to Alexandra Bello, affiliated with Massachusetts Eye and Ear, who led this revolutionary research published in Nature Neuroscience, there's a microscopic nerve inside the ear, a thin wire, finer than a human hair, that spirals from your inner ear straight to your brain. And this tiny fiber plays a vital role in transmitting sound signals. Without it, hearing falls apart. This neural connection, called the neural junction, had been overlooked by medical science for generations. Only now are experts beginning to understand just how critical it is to both tinnitus and our ability to hear. Think of it as the world's most sophisticated communication cable. When it works perfectly, this neural wire transforms simple sound waves into the rich, vibrant symphony of daily life. Here's how it works. Sound vibrations enter your ear and hit your eardrum. They are instantly converted into precise electrical signals, which travel along this fragile wire to your brain. Once they reach their destination, your brain decodes them into sounds you know and love. Your family's voices, your favorite music, the honk of a car, footsteps, laughter, a ticking clock. This discovery revealed something profound. You don't hear with your ears, you hear with your brain. Your ears collect sound, but it's your brain that understands it and brings it to life. And when everything's working, your eardrum, your neural junction, your brain, you get crisp, clean, meaningful sound. But here's the shocking discovery that had eluded medicine for decades. You can have perfectly healthy ears, but if this tiny wire is damaged or misfiring, your brain receives scrambled signals. That's when you start hearing ringing, buzzing, hissing, or whooshing, even in complete silence. Imagine a frayed electrical wire, short-circuiting and making noisy sparks in your brain. Now, imagine that happening every second of every day. Just like with any electrical system, one faulty wire can short-circuit and permanently damage everything it's connected to. And these constant sound short circuits wreak havoc on your entire nervous system, burning out brain cells one by one. Even as you listen to this right now, every tiny sound your ears pick up is putting strain on that wire, thinning it out more and more until one day it might snap completely. This explains why some sufferers, like my mother, even began experiencing auditory hallucinations. It also explains why tinnitus often comes with a devastating storm of symptoms: mental fog, crushing headaches, bone-deep fatigue, sleepless nights, terrifying memory lapses, and the horrifying truth? Tinnitus is literally burning out your brain. All your nerves and brain cells are part of one giant, delicate system. So when one piece breaks, like the neural junction, it can destabilize the whole network. I already knew that severe cognitive disorders, like delirium, dementia, Parkinson's, or chronic anxiety, often begin when those neural networks start to break down. And studies now show that if you've had tinnitus for a long time, your risk of developing these neurological complications jumps by 62%. Now, to help you find out if this hidden issue is already affecting you, I'm going to share a simple quiz, one developed by the European Commission for Health, immediately after the massive discovery made by the Lauer Tinnitus Research Center. See if you answer yes to any of these questions. Unfortunately, when I first read this checklist, my mom answered yes to several of them. Do you sometimes struggle to catch what someone just said? Do you have trouble following a conversation, constantly asking people to repeat themselves mid-sentence? Have you ever turned the TV volume up so high that people around you complained? Do you hear any ringing, buzzing, hissing, or strange sounds in your ears? Have you found yourself paying extra close attention to sounds you used to hear effortlessly? Do you feel like your hearing has significantly worsened over the past few months or years? Have you ever felt confused because you forgot something you normally wouldn't? If you answered yes to even one of these, it means your neural junctions may already be damaged. If you answered yes to multiple questions, the damage could be much more severe, and your neural wires may already be far more deteriorated than what's considered healthy, just like my mother's were. That's why it's so important to strengthen your neural junctions as soon as possible, because if you don't, your hearing won't come back. It'll only keep getting worse, and the ringing, buzzing, or whooshing in your ears might never stop, even if you lose all other sounds completely. But how can I fix this? This question kept haunting me, especially as I watched my mom spiral deeper into confusion, fatigue, hearing loss, and that maddening constant ringing. Then I thought about my 2 decades of work as a researcher and all the doctors and scientists I'd worked with or taught over the years. So I sat down and wrote an email, a detailed summary of my findings, with every study attached, and I sent it to 137 specialists. Some I knew personally, some had been my students, others I'd only heard of or found online. And out of all of them, only one responded. But it wasn't just anyone. It was from an old colleague, one of America's top neurosurgeons, Dr. Richard Terrier. He had been like family to me during med school. My best friend. Of course, he knew my mom. He adored her apple pie. We used to have passionate debates about football and neuroscience, often on the same afternoon. Years of relentless work had earned him a spot among the top neurosurgeons in the US. But when he replied, I was stunned by what he said. I've got the answer you're looking for, Andrew, but we need to meet in person. Unfortunately, our meeting had to wait 2 weeks. Richard was constantly traveling for surgeries and conferences, but when we finally sat down together, I learned something I never expected. Richard hadn't just read the study I was researching. He was part of it. But you won't find his name listed because he wasn't there as a lead doctor. He was there as a patient. You see, Richard had been quietly battling tinnitus. It got so bad he couldn't perform surgeries anymore. His hands had started trembling from the stress. After the study was published, the one revealing that the real cause of tinnitus and hearing loss is the damaged neural wire between the ear and brain, Richard set out on a mission a mission to repair his own neural junctions, and that mission led him to someone incredible, Mr. Masaru Tanaka, a man who, at 88 years old, still had laser-sharp hearing, mental clarity, and memory so good he was dominating memory competitions and identifying faint sounds that even 30-year-olds couldn't detect. An 88-year-old outshining people decades younger. And here's what amazed me even more. There were dozens of people like him in that region of Japan. People in their 80s and 90s, still maintaining incredible mental and hearing health. Their neural junctions were clearly intact. But why? Why were theirs perfect while my mother's were deteriorating? That question led to the answer that saved my mother's hearing. You see, Mr. Tanaka and many others like him had a daily ritual they'd followed since childhood. It all came down to a strange, at-home medicinal miso recipe they'd been eating every day since they were 5 years old. At first, I didn't get it. How could miso possibly have anything to do with hearing? But then I looked deeper. I realized that miso, especially the way they prepare it, is one of the top foods for brain and ear health. So naturally I asked, what exactly is this medicinal miso recipe? And how could it help my mother? That's when Dr. Richard gave me everything. He told me, look, the traditional way they consume miso might work for them, but your mom didn't start eating it at 5. To get the same effect now, she'd need to eat pounds of it every single day. And even then, it might not be enough. But Richard didn't stop there. He'd already taken his traditional recipe, studied it in depth, and isolated the key nutrients responsible for the healing effects. He extracted the most powerful compounds that helped regenerate the damaged neural junctions. It's the solution he created for himself, the one that finally silenced his tinnitus and allowed him to return to surgery in less than a month. And now comes the most interesting part, because I'm going to share exactly what those nutrients are and how they work. The first ingredient is Japanese alpine ginkgo biloba. Unlike the regular kind, this special variety is harvested high in the Japanese mountains and is the exact ingredient used in the traditional miso recipe. Once you consume Japanese alpine ginkgo biloba, it's quickly absorbed into your system, where it immediately improves blood circulation from the inner ear to the brain. This allows the first stage of neural junctions recovery to begin, delivering vital nutrients right to the root cause of tinnitus. Because it's absolutely essential to ensure strong blood flow so real healing can happen. Japanese neurologist Hyan Wan published a study in the prestigious Journal of Food Composition and Analysis, confirming the positive impact of Japanese alpine ginkgo biloba on hearing. That means a positive impact on the neural junctions. Another doctor, Dr. Ayuner, conducted a study with 547 participants suffering from tinnitus and hearing difficulties. He gave them our unique form of ginkgo biloba, and even those with severe tinnitus who had completely lost hope shocked the research team by significantly improving their auditory function. Now, Japanese alpine ginkgo biloba doesn't just improve circulation in the ear. A recent study also shows that it also nourishes the neural junctions, providing antioxidant support and feeding nerve cells, which is crucial for clear sound perception and essential in fighting all types of hearing decline. But if you want to truly heal tinnitus, this one ingredient isn't enough, which brings us to phase 2 of recovery. The second super ingredient is HydroPure NAC, N-acetylcysteine. This powerful compound works as direct support for the neural junctions, strengthening the connection between ear and brain. Dr. Richard discovered that the Japanese use a special water-based fermentation method, relying only on pure water and beneficial microbes to preserve the most potent active compounds in NAC. This creates a cleaner, more bioavailable form of NAC, one that the body can absorb more quickly and use more effectively. In fact, a 2023 study by Eric A. Walker, published in the Journal of Otology and Neurotology, showed that this exact NAC extract significantly reduced ringing and improved sound clarity in just 7 days. In a large clinical trial, participants who took HydroPure NAC were better able to pick up subtle tones and higher frequencies during hearing tests compared to those who took a placebo. So while Japanese alpine ginkgo biloba and HydroPure NAC make a powerful starting point, the real magic happens when they're combined, working together to rejuvenate the auditory system and protect it from further damage. But if your goal is to fully restore your hearing, not just stop the ringing, you also need to repair the brain. Remember when we talked about the full circuit from ear to brain? At first, I didn't think that was even possible. But then Dr. Richard discovered something that changed everything. A natural compound, backed by science, that has the power to help restore the brain. It's called lion's mane. This incredible mushroom-derived nutrient has been used in traditional Japanese tonics for centuries, but the most effective form comes from carefully fermented lion's mane extract. And what makes it so amazing? Modern science now shows that lion's mane can actually repair damaged nerve fibers, something scientists once believed was impossible. Here's the best part. Studies show that lion's mane can help support healthy neurotransmitter function while regenerating and revitalizing the communication pathways between your brain and your ears. In a double-blind, placebo-controlled study of adults aged 60 to 80 experiencing tinnitus and hearing loss, those who took lion's mane showed major improvements in both hearing tests and ear imaging. By targeting inflammation in the brain and repairing cellular damage, these patients experienced measurable improvements in sound clarity, reduced ringing, overall ear function. And believe it or not, this is just the beginning. This medicinal formula also contains 7 more powerful ear and brain supporting nutrients, each carefully chosen for their ability to protect hearing, eliminate brain inflammation caused by a faulty circuit, and sharpen sound perception. The power of these ingredients is truly something special. But in the end, this isn't just about science. It's about what this discovery means for your life. It's about getting your joy back, feeling confident again, hearing every word without straining or guessing, no longer asking people to repeat themselves. It's about holding on to the moments that matter and living the rest of your life with the peace, clarity, and control you deserve. The moment I discovered these powerful nutrients that stop tinnitus and support hearing and brain health, I knew right away. This was exactly what I wanted for my mom. Even though she had tried some of these ingredients individually before, she had never taken all of them together, and never in the precise dosages recommended by Dr. Richard. So I reached out to dozens of contacts, and slowly, I managed to gather small quantities of each Japanese nutrient, including the most potent form of fermented NAC and ginkgo from Okinawa Bay. Once they arrived, I carefully combined the ingredients into a formula designed to stop tinnitus and bring her hearing back to its full potential. It took weeks of research, testing, and fine-tuning, but when I finally finished, I couldn't wait to give it to my mom. And honestly, there's no one better than her to tell you what happened next. So Mom, can you tell us what your experience was like using this concentrated version of the Japanese tinnitus formula?
Sure. You remember at first I didn't even want to try it, right? I was frustrated, overwhelmed by the constant ringing in my ears, and honestly, I just didn't believe anything would work.
I remember exactly how skeptical you were. You flat out refused to even consider it, and that's when I showed you the research, the story about Dr. Richard. He even spoke to you on the phone about how to convince you. Remember?
Exactly. Hearing his story about struggling with tinnitus, especially as a surgeon, that's what finally got through to me. So I gave it a chance. I started taking the formula every morning. At first, the only real change I noticed was more energy, and it lasted all day, which for me was huge. But beyond that, not much. Honestly, I was a little let down at first.
Yeah, I remember being a little disappointed too, but that energy boost, that was a good sign. Something was happening.
So, what happened after those first few days? Well, I remember you nagging me every single day to take it exactly the way Dr. Richard recommended. Thank God for that. Because over time, something shifted. My ears started feeling clearer. That relentless ringing began to fade. And eventually, it just stopped. I couldn't even tell you the exact moment it went away. But I do remember waking up one day and realizing it was gone.
Wow, there's actually something I've never told you. During those weeks you were taking the formula, I had one of the most emotional moments in my life. I came to visit expecting to find you in bed like usual, but when I walked in, you were dancing with that to your favorite song. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I honestly didn't think I'd ever see that again.
You never told me that.
Well, I didn't. I just let the two of you enjoy that moment because in a second, I wanted to jump in. I wanted to hug you and shout, "We did it!" But I knew you were still having ups and downs, so I didn't want to jinx it or say too much too soon. All I did was keep reminding you to take the formula every day. And looking back now, that was the best thing I ever did because you kept getting better and better. I always said, I witnessed the greatest blessing of my life unfold right in front of me.
Me too. That formula was a true blessing. The ringing completely stopped. In the morning, I could hear the birds chirping again, and I had more energy than I'd felt in years. My mind was clear and sharp, and I felt healthier, like I had the ears of someone 20 years younger.
And it wasn't just you who noticed.
Right. I told everyone, people at church, the neighbors, our whole family.
And once Mom started sharing her story, people began reaching out to me nonstop. Dozens of friends, extended family, even people we barely knew, asking if I could help them too. Since I still had some of the ingredients stored away, I started sharing the formula, and pretty soon, my phone was flooded with thank you messages and calls. Men and women of all ages thanking me because the maddening ringing had finally faded. And honestly, It made me wonder, why didn't I find this sooner? Why isn't this common knowledge? The answer is simple. This formula is 100% natural, which means it's not a drug. And that means Big Pharma can't patent it. They can't slap a brand name on it and charge $600 a month. So instead, they do everything they can to discourage doctors from recommending powerful natural nutrients like these. Because let's be honest, if your hearing could improve dramatically thanks to safe, affordable, natural ingredients, why would you keep shelling out hundreds of dollars every month for prescriptions? You wouldn't, and that means fewer sales and less money for them. So instead of sharing this life-changing solution, they bury it. They protect their profits at the expense of people's health. And to me, that's not just unfair, it's wrong. But I've made it my mission to change that. My goal now is simple, to make this formula available to as many people as possible. And to do that, I knew I needed a partner, someone who could help me source these ultra-pure, clinically backed nutrients, follow strict FDA safety and hygiene standards, and manufacture the formula right here in the United States so I could oversee every single step and make sure it was done right. After 6 months of searching, researching, and testing, I finally found a partner facility that could create this amazing formula with the care and precision it truly deserves. And now, I'm proud to introduce you to Autofort. Autofort is the only 100% natural blend specifically designed to target the root cause of tinnitus, a faulty connection between your ears and your brain. We've carefully chosen 13 of the purest, highest quality plant extracts out there and blended them into a custom, easy-to-use liquid drop formula meant for daily use. Each drop is made with you in mind, factoring in your age, weight, how long you've had tinnitus, and even the type of sound you hear. That way, your formula is tailored exactly to fit your unique needs. So, before you order the formula, you'll get a short questionnaire to make sure we send you exactly what you need in the right dose and for maximum effect. And yes, every drop is proudly made right here in the USA in FDA-registered, GMP-certified facilities that meet the highest standards of cleanliness, precision, and quality. Autofort drops are non-GMO and totally safe. They have no harmful stimulants, no toxins, and they're not addictive in any way. Autofort doesn't just help with ear ringing, hissing, screeching, and other hearing issues. It also works deep inside your brain and nervous system to recharge your energy, sharpen your memory, and clear your mind in ways you've probably never felt before. Already, 59,875 people have transformed their lives with Autofort.
Tinnitus used to control my life, but with Autofort, I got a fresh start. No more ringing in my ears. I feel more present, more alive, like I finally got myself back.
The ringing that used to drive me crazy has faded away, and my ears finally feel normal again.
Pretty amazing, right? And all it takes for you to start experiencing the same kind of powerful improvements in your hearing, mental clarity, and brain health is to start using Autofort right now. The solution is easier than you think, and you can get access to it in the next 90 seconds. So if you're ready to finally let go of that constant ringing in your ears and bring peace and clarity back into your life, if you're ready to say yes to a real, lasting change, just take a moment to think about how much true silence is worth. Really think about it. Right now, millions of people are spending their life savings on hearing specialists who charge $600 or more per visit with zero guarantees. Then there are premium hearing aids that cost $3,000 and only mask the symptoms, plus therapy sessions at $200 an hour, just to deal with the mental strain. That's almost $5,000 a year spent on managing symptoms, while the real problem keeps messing with your brain, feeding anxiety, depression, and emotional stress that affects every part of your life. Because this approach is so groundbreaking, Dr. Richard originally recommended pricing Autofort at $900 per bottle. And honestly, it made sense. After 2 full years of intense research and clinical testing, we'd created something the world had never seen before. The first individually tailored solution for tinnitus. Each bottle is crafted to match your unique brain profile, age, weight, and symptom history. Even our research partners thought $700 was a fair price, given the life-changing results they saw in the trial participants. And when you think about how people spend $5,000 a year on temporary relief, even $700 would seem like a total bargain. In fact, many of the 59,875 people who've used Autofort said they'd gladly pay 3 times that just to keep the peace and quiet they found. But for me, and for my family, this goes way beyond money. I never want anyone to feel as helpless, angry, or humiliated as my mother did. No one should have to go through that kind of suffering. No family should have to just stand by and watch as tinnitus slowly chips away at their loved one's sanity. It's exactly why what I'm about to share means so much to me, both personally and professionally. As I speak to you right now, Audi Ford is just about to transform its 60,000th life. That's 60,000 people who've taken back their silence. 60,000 families who've been made whole again. And to celebrate this huge milestone, I'm doing something I've never done before. Something that honestly has made my team a little nervous. If you join the Audifort family today, before we hit that 60,000 mark, which could happen at any moment, you'll get your bottle of Audifort at the lowest price we've ever offered. Not even close to the $900 price Dr. Richard originally suggested. But that's not all. I'm also including my recovery program, completely free. That means direct access to my team and custom guidance through your Audifort journey until your tinnitus is gone. As a tinnitus expert, my consultations normally cost $200 an hour, but today you're getting the full program at no extra charge. Now, I want to be totally honest with you. This special celebration offer is extremely limited. It's only available until we hit our milestone of 60,000 transformed lives. If you're reading this now, it means there's still time to grab one of the remaining spots. But wait too long and this chance might be gone for good. You might never see an offer like this again. With my packed schedule as a research lead, I can only personally support a small number of people. So right now, and only until we hit that 60,000 milestone, you have the chance to lock in your Audi Ford formula and claim one of the last spots in my personal recovery program. That includes direct access to my team, support that's usually valued at $200 per hour, all for just $59 per bottle when you choose the premium 6-bottle package. Let that sink in for a second. That's just $1.63 a day, less than the price of a coffee, to finally reclaim your peace, your quiet, and your quality of life. And there's even more. You'll also receive 2 incredible free gifts valued at over $810. I'll tell you more about those in just a second. Now, just a heads up. If you go with just 1 bottle, you'll miss out on the deep bulk discount, so your cost per bottle will be a bit higher. Even so, it's still a small price to pay for a lifetime of relief. With the 1-bottle option, you'll get a full 30-day supply of Audifort for just $79. That's right, just $79, one time. But here's what Dr. Richard found after studying thousands of real cases. The key to lasting relief is giving your brain enough time to fully repair those faulty connections. If you've only had tinnitus for a few days, 1 bottle might be enough. But if it's been going on for weeks or longer, our clinical data, based on 59,875 success stories, recommends at least 3 bottles for the best results. Why? Because healing the neural damage caused by chronic tinnitus often takes 75 days or more. So if you've been struggling with this for a month or more, or if you want to protect your brain against future cognitive decline, our 6-bottle package is absolutely your best bet. Here's something people don't realize. Audifort's benefits build up over time. Each day strengthens your neural pathways more and more. Your mind gets sharper, clearer, and stronger. And the last thing I want is for you to get this close to a full recovery, only to run out of Audifort halfway through. Even missing just 1 day can set back your progress and interrupt the healing process. And because sourcing the rare, high-quality ingredients in this formula is so complex, once we sell out, and we do, it usually takes 6 to 9 months to restock. On top of that, rising ingredient costs mean future prices will likely double. But today, you have the chance to lock in your full supply at the lowest possible price and change your life for good. Don't risk restarting your healing journey or paying more later when you're already so close to permanent relief. All you have to do is enter your information below this video so we can calculate the precise amount of each compound your formula needs. Then, just lock in your 6-month supply or choose the option that fits you best. But that's not all. When you choose our 3-bottle package or anything larger today, you'll also receive our exclusive early action reward package. That's 2 powerful gifts worth over $810 absolutely free. Gift number 1, the Deep Sleep Activation Protocol. Valued at $420. Say goodbye to restless nights, irritability, and chronic fatigue. Inside, you'll find a simple 30-second morning ritual inspired by traditional Japanese healing, known to gently rebalance the nervous system and support natural energy flow. You'll also discover 3 ancient breathing techniques, now backed by modern science, proven to calm the brain and prepare it for deep, restorative sleep. Plus, 1 surprising kitchen ingredient used for centuries in rural Japan to ease nervous tension and promote emotional balance. And most importantly, you'll get access to the same sound-based therapy Japanese elders use to keep their minds sharp and their ears trained, even into old age. Gift number 2, the Brainwire Regeneration Blueprint. Valued at $390. designed to fight anxiety, depression, and memory decline. This guide reveals the exact combination of natural ingredients that support faster brain repair and emotional stability. Based on research and ancient Japanese adaptogenic practices, you'll learn 5 powerful mind-body techniques that have been shown to reduce anxious thoughts and elevate mood naturally. Includes a special 7-day brain reset routine for better focus and mental clarity, along with proven memory-boosting exercises inspired by Japanese longevity secrets. These resources were instant bestsellers. Even now, we still get hundreds of requests for them every week. They're no longer available in print, but I've made a special arrangement to give digital access to everyone who orders 3 bottles or more of Autofort today. But first, let me be upfront with you about something. Autofort is selling out fast, and once it's gone, it could take 6 to 9 months to produce more. Why? Because we use only the purest ingredients, and we won't cut corners ever. Sourcing the rare, high-quality components from around the world takes time. Then we run each ingredient through rigorous testing with a third-party lab to ensure you're getting only the best ingredients that are alive, active, and ready to deliver real results. Only after that do we send them to our manufacturer here in the US for bottling. We don't accept any batch into our warehouse until it passes every test. As you can see, the process is long and detailed, and totally worth it. But it means we can't just whip up more overnight. And with everything going on in the world right now, supply chain issues have made our job even harder. So if you're thinking about waiting, please know you may miss your chance. Picture this. Right now, people across the country are rediscovering what quiet feels like. They're finally enjoying peace of mind again, free from that constant ringing and confident their brain health will stay protected for years to come. No wonder they keep coming back for more, not just for themselves, but for the people they love. That's why, while this limited time offer is still active, I'm urging you, don't wait if you're on the fence. And to make this even easier, we're offering a huge discount when you order the 3 or 6 bottle package, plus free shipping on both. Once you make your choice, you'll be taken to our 100% secure checkout page. We use 256-bit encryption, the same level of protection as Amazon and Walmart, so your information is totally safe. Just enter your payment details using a debit or credit card, and as soon as you confirm your order, your bottle of Autofort will be shipped free to your door. If you choose the 3 or 6 bottle option, which we highly recommend while supplies last, you'll get that massive discount and all the free bonuses we mentioned. And here's the best part. This is a one-time payment. No subscriptions, no recurring charges, and no hidden fees. Just a simple, secure checkout, and your bottles are on their way. Now, and this is important, Autofort is only available on this website. If you see it on Walmart, Amazon, or Costco, it's not the real thing. Our last batch on those platforms sold out in days, and we've since made Autofort exclusive to this site to protect customers from counterfeits and ensure you get the authentic formula. So remember, this page is the only place to get Autofort. Still feeling unsure? I get it. You've probably tried a bunch of things already. You've spent money, followed plans, and barely seen results. That's exactly why I'm offering a 90-day ironclad money-back guarantee. If you don't see big improvements, or if you're just not happy for any reason, you get every penny back. No questions asked, even if you've used the entire bottle. You've got a full 3 months to try Autofort and decide if it's right for you. Again, no hidden fees, no auto renewals, just a one-time payment and peace of mind. So go ahead, scroll down, and pick the option that fits your journey best. Remember, Autofort is running out, and once it's gone, we're looking at 6 to 9 months before we can restock. Meanwhile, I'm under increasing pressure from big players in the tinnitus industry. Let's be honest, protecting your hearing and brain health isn't something to put off. You have a choice to make right now. You can walk away, keep living with the ringing, and hope that expensive hearing aids or therapy will eventually help. Or you can say yes to Autofort, the formula designed to fix the faulty connection between your brain and ears and bring back real silence. I can't make the decision for you. All I can do is share what the science shows and what thousands of others have experienced. But please, choose wisely, because this moment could be the turning point in your life. The day you took back control of your mind, your peace, your future. Right below this video, you'll see 3 options. A 1-bottle supply if you're just starting out, a 3-bottle package for a complete healing process, and the premium 6-bottle plan for full recovery and long-term protection. Just imagine a peaceful dinner with your family, no more ringing, clear focus at work, easy conversations, deep, uninterrupted sleep, waking up every morning feeling sharp, balanced, and fully present. All that is just 1 step away. You've made it this far because you're serious about reclaiming your life from tinnitus. Now it's time to make it real. Choose a package that fits your journey, because we only get 1 brain, 1 body, and 1 shot at living in peace. So go ahead, click the 6-bottle package or the option that works for you and place your order safely right now. Thank you for spending this time with me, and welcome to to the beginning of your new, quieter life. Still watching? Still deciding? That's totally okay. Since we first released this breakthrough formula, we've had an overwhelming response. Our inbox has been flooded with questions about Autofort. So while you're thinking about securing your own supply, I want to take a moment to answer some of the most common questions we get. 1. I've only been using Autofort for 2 weeks, but the ringing is already quieter, and I'm sleeping better. Is it normal to see results this fast? Yes, 100% normal. Everyone's brain and nervous system responds a little differently, but many people start noticing improvements in just the first week or two. Some experience relief almost immediately, while others may need 3 to 4 weeks to feel significant changes. Most people report that their tinnitus gets much quieter, or even disappears completely within 6 to 8 weeks of consistent use. And the better sleep you're noticing? That's actually a great sign. It means your brain has started repairing the neural pathways responsible for healthy sound processing, and improved sleep helps speed up that healing process even more. 2. How do I know Autofort will work for me? That's a great question, and the answer lies in what really causes tinnitus, because it's not just an ear issue. Tinnitus happens when the fragile nerve that carries sound signals from your ears to your brain becomes damaged. This disrupts communication and creates that frustrating ringing sound. Autofort is designed to nourish and rebuild this connection, restoring the smooth flow of signals between your ears and brain. It targets that neural junction, the tiny hair cells in your ears, and the brain networks that decode sound. Backed by hundreds of clinical studies, Autofort combines the natural power of plants with cutting-edge science. It's already helped nearly 60,000 people find real, lasting relief, many after suffering for years. And remember, every order is backed by our 90-day money-back guarantee. You've got nothing to lose. 3. How fast will I get my Autofort formula? Once you complete your health profile, our team takes 24 to 48 hours to personalize your formula. After that, your order ships out within 1 to 2 business days. For U.S. customers, your package typically arrives in 5 to 7 business days after shipping. Each bottle is sealed and packaged with care to ensure freshness and full potency. 4. Is Autofort safe? Any side effects? Yes, Autofort is completely safe. It's made in a GMP-certified, FDA-registered facility using only 100% natural ingredients. Our customization process means your formula is tailored specifically to your needs, your age, weight, symptoms, and duration of your tinnitus. Most people feel totally fine, with no side effects. Some report feeling unusually calm and clear-headed during the first few days, as their brain begins adjusting and healing, which is actually a good sign. Of course, if you're taking any medications or have a medical condition, just show the ingredient list to your doctor. 5. Can you explain the guarantee again? Absolutely. We offer a no-risk, 90-day, 100% money-back guarantee. If you're not completely thrilled with your results, whether the ringing's still there or you're just not satisfied, just reach out to our support team within 90 days and we'll refund every penny. Even if you've used the entire bottle, no questions, no hassle. We believe in Autofort, and we want you to feel confident trying it out. 6. Should I